Everybody's gone missing just for a joke. Good evening, welcome along. It's a Sunday night, which means another edition of the Sunday Bunch. We are live, which means you can join us via the live chat if you want to have your say. I'm also live on TikTok as well. I don't know how it's going to work. It's an experiment. Joining us on the panel tonight, we got Conrad, Emma, and Terry. Conrad is there somewhere playing games with us. Terry, how's your day been?
Been all right. Can't complain. Nice and happy weekend for a change.
Nice, happy weekend for a change. Emma is with us as well. Emma, how's your day been?
Yeah, not bad. I went to a child's birthday party this morning. Actually got the right date. I turned up yesterday thinking it was yesterday, but it was today. Only I could do that. But
so you went to the party yesterday when it was supposed to be today?
Yeah.
Well, right, okay. Also joining us, Conrad here. Where was you, Conrad?
Cleaning up cat shit that had literally just happened about 30 seconds before we went live. And I thought my life's not worth living if I leave it and just go, can you sort that out? So I thought best do it.
So other than that, how's your day been, Conrad?
Well, that tops the lot now. We were at a kid's birthday party, not the same one as Emma, but at least I got the day right today.
Right, fair dues. Just very quickly, we did say we are live. Which means you can join us via the live chat if you want to have your say already in there first, as he always is every single week. The last Palmas Mackham. Peter Solkeld is there. Thomas Pybus. Jeff says, up by Christmas. Jeff, don't be silly. It's up by Easter, you know.
No, it's Christmas. It's Christmas.
It's not my Christmas, too soon. But we could actually be up by Easter. Easter's late this year. So Ryan McCormack on there. Emma's even joining the chat, even though she's live on here. David Joblin, all those people on there. We'll do our best to mention as many people as we can and read out your comment if that is possible. Just before I go any further, I've got to just quickly make an apology. Toffs, who are sponsoring our weekly giveaway. All right, I did actually get the sponsorship wrong, and it is actually a monthly giveaway. All right, it's 4 weekly. All right, what it is. So apologies for that. So there won't be a giveaway tonight, but it is going to be every 4 weeks. We are going to do that. And don't forget, Toffs, our sponsors. There is a link in the description. You can get 15% discount off their website using the discount code in the description. Right. I know we had Tuesday first, and it was a 2-0 win over Derby, but all that sort of just crumbled away, didn't it? I mean, after Friday, Sunderland 2, Leeds United 2. I mean, it felt like a win. I mean, the way it all happened. I want to start with the atmosphere because I've got to say, we did the Wheat Sheaf, and in all the years I've done the Wheat Sheaf, Friday was probably the best atmosphere it's been so far. Is that right, Emma?
It was canny. Everybody was up on the tables. I went outside for a smoke, come back, and I'm like, well, where's my drink? Because I'm on the tables. I'm like, where's my bloody call? It was cracking. Even my little Luke was up doing wise men. Well, no encouragement from me, may I add.
But anyway, it was just, I was hoping then that they carried that into the stadium and the atmosphere was really good. I couldn't go because I had to work, so I watched the first half. So, Terry, you was there. Good atmosphere in there?
No? I was in my cleaning cupboard, Phil. The atmosphere was amazing. The atmosphere was tremendous when we got the equalising goal. I was bouncing around all over the place. Couldn't believe it.
So, sorry, Terry, did you not go then?
I couldn't make it on Friday. I was away.
Oh, see, so when they mess about with these kickoffs. Right. Conrad, you was there. What was the atmosphere like?
I mean, well, I don't want to dig us all out, but I mean, I've been to 3 games this season. It's been a bit flat most times. It didn't look anything like what you were having in the pub. And I took my mum to the game on Friday night, and she hasn't been for about a decade or so. She was hearing the Leeds fans up above, and she went, "Do our fans ever do this, or is it just every now and again at an away game?" And I was like, "Oh, is that what people think, that we're? Do you know what I mean? We're not quite." Obviously, it was great when we got the equaliser, and everyone was singing "Leeds are falling apart again," and it was great. But even when we went 1-0 up, I remember thinking, "Oh, we've sort of settled back in, and we're all just enjoying a Friday night game."
Yeah, okay then. Emma, you went to the game, so atmosphere okay?
It wasn't too bad. It's been a lot better. I mean, when Rick scored that goal, it was just like the roof lifted off. And when I know we're going to get on to it, but when the second goal went in, it was just electric. It really was. It was just bouncing. I can't remember the last time the stadium went like that when we scored an equaliser, to be fair.
Right, okay. I know that was very rude, and I'd like to say, yes, I agree with everything you say, but I was just quickly talking to TikTok while you was on there, trying to see if we can send some people over here. Tony Lee already on the chat says, in 52 years supporting Sunderland, I don't think I've ever seen a bigger goalkeeping error. So let's go straight to that then. Let's go for it, right? I mean, that goal. I mean, just what happened? I know social media's going mad saying, Sunderland cheating, putting the sprinklers up and all this nonsense and what have you. Terry, I mean, did he just? I've watched it on the telly, loads of different angles, and it's difficult to see if the ball's actually bounced and moved or. It looks like
I think the way
just past it.
Just the way Brown kicks it, like a cricket ball trying to spin the ball. It looks like when it's just bounced, it just spun away from his hands. But he's got momentum going from right to left, so he's moving away from the ball. And the ball's just spun a little bit to his right, and he's just completely. I mean, I thought the keeper had a good game all night until that last second, So it's one of those errors, isn't it? Like a imaginary beach ball was there, wasn't it?
Right, okay, but it's still, I mean, as I said, I've watched it and I've tried to watch for a bounce and which diverts it and stuff like that. And this on the same score, it was given as an own goal. And I've watched, and it just looks like it's come off Brown, and he's sort of like lobbed it over. But I imagine from an angle behind, it's obviously hit the defender and took a deflection. I don't know.
I think I noticed that today. It clipped the defender. It probably just caught him off guard because he was going, like I say, from right to left, and he moved away from the ball, and the ball so took a deflection. It's gone. He's just misjudged it. It's one of those things. Mistakes happen, don't they? Just happened to be a fantastic mistake at the right time of the game.
Right, okay. Just very quickly, I want to say a massive thank you to EC Neps, or however you pronounce that. Just joined as a new member. Can we have a round of applause for him? Thank you very much to you for
Spence
that.
Backwards, Emma. That's right. Yeah, it took me a second there.
It is. It's by Benjamin. He's decided because he's got a bank account. He wants to join and give us some money.
Right, okay. Listen, the UK urban prepper, whoever he is just grassing Conrad up. There is a reason for Conrad not having his shirt on, and that is because the heating bills are going up. All right, it is very cold in his house, and so he has to wear his big, thick sweatshirt. Terry?
I've got a candle on it. I'm trying to save electricity.
Yeah. Well, I've got everything on because I'm loaded, so I'm not really bothered. If you are a member, by the way, your name will be scrolling across the bottom there. Thanks for joining. Don't forget this channel doesn't make a profit, and you can join as a member, and it'll cost you $1.99 a month, less than 50 pence a week, and it does help our channel out immensely, and we are very grateful to you for that. Conrad, then, what happened? And I mean, you was at the game, so did you get a good view of the goal?
In a way, I was sat in Wayne's seat, sort of in the north stand, right up just where it turns into the northwest. And I'll be honest, I started to look away when I saw it coming towards the keeper, as you would do, thinking, he's just going to pick this up and go. And then I heard everyone sort of pop up, and I turned around just in time to see him trying to scramble back to his line, and it had already gone in. And like Emma said, the place went absolutely mental for it. I've enjoyed every single replay, and I'm going to continue to enjoy every single replay because it's in our favour. It does take a rather big deflection off of Firpo, the one who got their second goal. But I think Terry's right. He's watching the spin of the ball. I think he's trying to sort of judge it's going to go this way, and he moves out the way, and it just bounces dead and just goes straight on. It doesn't sort of change. But I'm pretty sure as a keeper, they always tell you get your body behind the ball. So he was already trying to like move out the way of it, or he just got himself completely in a muddle there. And best thing that could have happened to us, really, because I didn't think we were ever going to get an equaliser the way we played up till then.
Right, okay. Different people on the chat saying, Jamie McCoy saying MISS-LIER position was just awful. Someone else here said, Philip Ashman said he thinks he was distracted from the Sunderland player coming in from his right side. But well, we're not bothered. I mean, it was just.
I think he just likes Regis Lebris.
It was what?
I think he just likes Regis Lebris.
Right. Well, I'm going to come on to that, Terry. So don't worry about that because I know you're going to love that one. So we are going to get on to that. And again, I must admit, I saw on social media earlier that I take Colin for a walk down the beach every single day, and Regis Lebris was down there, wasn't he, with his dog, and I never even seen him. I'll be hunting him down like next time. So Emma, that goal, just what happened?
I don't know. To be honest, I didn't actually see it live. I had left the seats at 93 minutes. I know we're probably going to go onto that side of it, but you know,
we are going to get onto that.
So, as soon as I heard the atmosphere, my phone was straight out, Sky Go was straight on, and I just looked at it and I just paid myself laughing. It's like, that's got to be a blunder that's going to live down in history. It's got to be a contender for a blunder this season already, to be fair. I don't know what happened. I think he's just misjudged it, in all honesty.
Right, okay.
I'll take it.
Just very quickly, Ian Curry says, does anybody remember Tim Flowers' mishap for Blackburn? He also says, Terry looks spooky. Ooh. And of course, Mad Magam says, candle power tonight. Terry, there you go. We've got, 139 people watching the stream. I've got 33 likes on here at the moment. Just hit the thumbs up if you would, please. And that'll help us. If you're watching and you're not subscribed to the channel, hit the subscribe button. It's free to subscribe, and we are on our way to 10,000 subscribers. 158 people on TikTok here. If you want to go over to our YouTube channel, SAFC Fan TV, check it out there, and you can see the full thing as it happens, and not just my ugly mug as you are getting now. Right then, I'll tell you what, before we then probably sort of dig into the game, I want to go on to this fans leaving malarkey. It's been all over social media. The telly mentioned it. Can't believe there's so many people leaving and things like this. So I'd like your thoughts on it, first of all. So Conrad, leaving early, does it? Are you for it, against it, or what's your views on it?
People can sort of do what they like. Really, they've paid their money to sort of. Terry, what's happening there? You underwater?
What?
Now you're in hell. And now you're green with envy.
Have you got a new toy, Terry?
What?
Have you got a new toy?
I've got a
candle. Your last boy, your new toy.
I don't know what you're on about. What's the matter?
Right, all right. Right, go on.
They can go out when they want. I mean, don't get me wrong, I do think it looks bad and it comes across as bad when we go there. But I mean, again, my mum, who I went with at 85, was like, oh, should we go? I don't think it's going to happen. And I sort of said, I just get this feeling we've got one more chance in us and, you know, we might get something. I didn't expect the keeper to throw one in for us. But, you know, I just thought something might happen because of how we've played this season. If it was last season, I'd have probably left on 65 minutes the way we'd played and sort of thought that we're in no danger here. But people pay the money, they can go if they want to, but I don't think they can then moan about passion of the players at any point if they're not willing to stick by him until the bitter end.
Right. Okay. Just very quickly on the goal, I've got a message here thrown on TikTok. Chris saying it was the ghost of the beach ball, apparently. Also on the chat, Rooster Coburn is saying it's a disgrace. You don't go to the cinema and leave 10 minutes before the end. I can't wait to get my teeth into this one. My new teeth. Terry, what are your thoughts on it?
I'm not particularly bothered, mate. End of the day, I stay to the end. If it's in that kind of situation, I would stay right at the end. The only way I'd leave a couple of minutes early if we're leading 3 or 4-0. If it's very close, one goal in it, I always stay to the end and give the lads a cheer on. But everyone has their own personal circumstances. If people need to leave for whatever reason, I'm not going to sit here and preach and tell people what they should do with their lives. It's entirely up to them, full stop. And anybody out there who sits there and complains about it, then it's entirely their opinion. My opinion is, I don't really care. Each to their own.
Right, okay. Before I go any further, Colin's come in and he just wants to show you his bollocks. Hey! There you go. He is the dogs. Right, Colin, go and see your mum. Emma, people leaving early, and you were actually, you were one of those guilty of that. What do you have to say for yourself then?
I paid my money for my season ticket, so I'm entitled to leave early if I want to leave early. I mean, yeah, don't get us wrong. A couple of times this season, we've done the fan cam, so I've headed out at the 80th minute to meet up with you, so we can do the fan cams for the telly. But you've seen, I've tried to go down my phone so I can still see it, even though you're there, kind of. And for example, Friday night, I went down at 93rd minute. I mean, you know, I take the kids with us. I don't want to be getting stuck in the crowds at the full-time whistle with the kids. So I always tend to head underneath and I'll stand just outside the doors waiting for people. Unless I'm doing the fan cams with you, do you know what I mean? So then you don't get in the crowds. But I mean, the likes of the car park at the stadium, that closes at the 80th minute. So if you're not out by the 80th minute, you're stuck there for a good half an hour after the game.
That is correct, because I used to park in that car park and I know all about that. Terry?
Emma, don't feel like you have to justify anything.
I'm not justifying myself.
You do entirely what you want. It's in your life.
Right. I do it for that reason. And my point is, everybody has their own reason for leaving early. Could
Exactly.
be a bus, the car park, that they've got kids, anything. It could be that they're absolutely knackered. They've been on night shift and they can't stay awake anymore. Do you know what I mean? Everybody's got their reason and they paid their money so they can leave when they want.
Right, okay. Just very quickly on the chat here, Mad Mackham says, when I lived north, never left a game, never would. Bugger the traffic is what he says. Tony Lee says, same as Terry. If we're getting stuffed, we'd leave early. And just to more or less echo what Terry said, nobody needs to give an excuse for leaving early. It absolutely boils my piss when people kick off about people leaving early. People can do whatever the hell they choose to do. They pay to go in there, and if they want to leave early, they can leave early. And what I suggest happens is, right, all these other people, all the other people who leave early, right, should now start going on social media and complaining about the people who stayed till the end, because it's absolutely no different. It's no different because it's got to work both ways. Me, I'll let you in a sec, Terry. Me personally, yes, when we're doing fan cams, I leave early to set up. A lot of the time, sometimes I'm at work, I've got to leave early. If I can stay to the end, I do tend to stay to the end. But I've got no qualms over people leaving early. If they want to leave early, you don't have to get up and say why you're leaving. You don't have to explain to me or anybody. You can leave early. I don't understand what all the fuss is about and everybody kicking off. Oh, you should be doing that. You're not a proper fan and all that. What an absolute load of bollocks. Terry.
And anybody who doesn't go to the games criticise people for leaving early, well, I'm not even going to get started there.
Well, there you go. Well, exactly. So, like I said, that's my thoughts on it. And it does, I hate it when they go on and honestly, it's ridiculous. I think they need to button it. All the people who complain about people going early need to button it. So anyway, that said, we got what, 160 people on on the stream at the moment. We've got 56 likes. We try and get 100 if we can on I'll get the day right, on a Sunday. So please just hit that thumbs up if you would. And more importantly, if you are watching and you've not subscribed, please subscribe to the channel. It's free. Hit that red button and do that, please. Right then. The game itself, I know we've... yes, Terry.
What's Conrad's opinion on it?
You'd ask mine. What, people leaving early? Oh, I haven't. If people want to go, they've paid their money. They have the absolute right to choose what they want to do. But I'm allowed to think when I see it back and go, it's a shame. I wish people were there. But I wouldn't have a go at anybody who has chose to leave early. But I am still allowed to think, I wish more had stayed, just because we spoke about passion last week when we were talking about, say, Pervader having a laugh with his mates and not really sort of understanding us. Do the players then think subconsciously like, oh, well, not all of them had stayed and this was a really good... We've put all this effort in and it was like a quarter full by the... Do you know what I mean? It's just, it's got to work both ways. But if you've spent your money, you've got absolutely every right to do what you want to do.
I think the players would want to win regardless if they really want, to achieve something in football. So I don't think that it would affect them if the fans start to go early. I think they'll still give the 110%. I would still play 110% to the very end if I was playing for football team or playing for anything,
I think that's definitely true this season and under LeBrie, because we've been a different team. I think if we'd have been having this conversation with April just gone of last season and some of the games, and I don't know if it had been the same answer at that point. It's still, everyone's allowed to go. I just think the way we're playing now and the management we've got and the way we seem to be doing, they are going to, a bit like under Roy Keane, when you would play until the last second of the game and he was the one sort of driving that on there and making us do that. And that made you want to stay into the end because you knew we were going to be fighting all the way until the referee blew for full time. Do you know what I mean? Whereas last season, maybe it was different. We were usually battered by then and it didn't make a difference.
I mean, I'm in the fortunate sort of situation where my bus is there anyway, regardless. So I can stay at the very end and watch the full game, go outside, and the bus is still going to be there. So I don't want to really leave early. Like I said, if we're winning 3-0 or we're getting beat 4-0, I might go a couple of minutes early, but I wouldn't leave it extra early. But it's everyone's choice.
But Mike did. Mike in our WhatsApp group had his opinion on it, and did he not say, Terry, like, somebody leaving for a bus at 85 minutes can also leave for a bus and get it at 95 minutes instead?
No, it depends if they're getting public transport and got to walk all the way to the town, where I've got a bus on with the club, with the supporters club, so that's waiting in the car park for me regardless. But people who are getting public transport like a train, or maybe the train might finish, the train might come 10 minutes before the game finishes. You kind of plan these things, so everyone's got their own personal circumstances. The bus might leave the bus station maybe at a certain time, so if you've got to go 5 minutes early to get that bus, to get an hour and a half journey home, that's entirely up to everybody's circumstances, isn't it?
I remember what was it, in the 2000s when I first started going, and was at Man United at home for a game, I think 2-2, and me and my mum were parked at the top of St Mary's on the third story. Game finished like 10 o'clock, whenever it would do around then. Yet we didn't get out of St Mary's till 12:30 just because you stayed. You had to get through the crowd, 48,000 people all leaving at that point, and then people getting past the car park as well. It's what you do, isn't it? It's because you love them.
Just very quickly on the chat. Lauren Kenny's in there. Lauren, who won the Tough shirt last week. So well done to you. But few people in here saying people leave early at all grounds. I saw that one somewhere, but I've sort of lost it now. So apologies.
I always do think they highlight it with Sunderland, the mags, and Borough. It used to be a match of the day thing where it was always like, look at these northern teams all leaving early, and it was like you just don't film the other teams all leaving early. Like that's the only difference.
Well, it was Stephen Thornton who said that, but just as you're saying there as well, Conrad, Paul Havelock is saying, always think Sky Sports tries to everything to put our club down every step of the way. Even if we're winning, there's lots of bias on there as well. So anyway, on this game, overall thoughts on it? I mean, good game, bad game. Did we do enough? Emma, do you want to start off with that?
Good game, bad game. I can't really answer that. I mean,
why not? It was a bad game.
It was a mediocre game. We'll see. I'll go with the well until we scored. It was sort of like, to me, it was like Leeds sat back to see what they were up against. Then we scored, and it was like Leeds went from second gear to first gear. And then, I mean, I think it was about the 40th minute where we started to get back into the game after that. And I mean, second half as well, we sort of was the bits and the drabs where we were playing well and where we weren't. But to me, watching it again on Friday night, I think when a team comes up against where they're going to be fearless when we can get up front. So when we can get the players up front and we're getting a shot on goal, I think the other teams are going to have to start to fear us, because I can see some great potential.
Right, okay. Conrad, you was there. Your overall thoughts on the game?
I thought we did okay. I wouldn't say it was anywhere near our best performance of the season. I thought the players towards the end, especially the last 20 minutes, looked absolutely shattered. Like previous games, you would have seen Mundell absolutely flying down the wing, taking people on. Same with, Roberts and Bellingham and Rigg. We looked tired. Sirkin looked tired as well. But that was the same team that played pretty much 3 games in 6 days. I don't think there was any, changes. Was it 7? Within the, the starting lineups or anything. That was 2. Yeah, it was 2-2. You're right. It was not our best. And a lot of players, I think, it sounds harsh to say it, but it was a lot of their players' worst performance for us for the season without necessarily being bad. I think we were tired. We came up against one of the better teams in the league, and they showed that at times. And I think they had the better of it, and we were just fortunate in the end to stick with them. Having said that, Leeds got their second during our best passage of play in the game and sort of sucker punched us a bit, and it took us a long time to recover from it.
Right, just very quickly before I go to you, Terry, I see on the chat there, Lauren Kenny says Corey Evans is signed for Bradford on there as well. That's just coming in. Paul Havelock says, well said, Conrad. Plus Dan Neal, what a bounce back performance. Terry, overall thoughts on the game for you?
Yeah, I think Regis Labrie said that he changed the sort of in-player formation or something, and it wasn't quite working. And then when he reverted back to the 4-4-2, he's seen a difference altogether. But yeah, you've got to whether you like the away team or not, give credit where credit's due. Leeds, for me, are a shoo-in for the top 3 of the season. So they are a quality side. I think Leeds and Sunderland both have the lowest average age of the teams as well. So I think Leeds showed the quality. I think we got off to a good start with a goal from Rigg. I think Leeds up their game a little bit, and I think some of the players might have underperformed a little bit, but I can get that because it's big to say three games in so many days, and I think that a 2-2 draw was a fair result, even though I thought the referee had a bad game. The referee was off his game altogether, and I thought Leeds got a little bit more run of the play than we did. So to come away with a 2-2 draw against a good Leeds side, I'm quite happy with that, to be honest.
Right, fair enough. Sorry, I'm just messing about with this. All right, then was a draw a fair result? Do you think, or were we lucky to get that, or what do you reckon, Conrad?
I think we were definitely lucky in the manner we got it. I don't remember testing MISS-LIER, as you've called him in the title there, testing him too much in the second half. I do think Leeds probably edged it, and we won't see many better sides come to the stadium like this season and play like that for us. But, like Emma said earlier on, I'll take it all day long. If the keeper's got 2-2 in his bet and wants to sort of cash in while he can, I'll take it.
Right, okay. Rooster Coburn says they thought we played better against Leeds than we did against Derby. I mean, we will probably touch on on Derby, though it seems a bit of a, even though we got the win, it seems a bit of an anticlimax after Friday night. Emma, draw, fair result, do you think?
Yeah, to be fair, I don't think any us or Leeds deserve to win it, in all fairness. So I'll take the draw. Take the point. It's better than none. Yeah, the 3 points would have been better, but like I say, I don't think any of would deserve to win it.
Right, okay. Just quickly on TikTok here, Joe Bartlett says, you will get relegated. Enjoy the time now while you can get it, apparently. What utter bullshit.
Do you think he's?
Right.
I think he thinks he's watching Southampton. Maybe he's
well, who knows? Who knows? Terry, do you think a draw was a fair result? Should we have won it? Should Leeds have won it? What do you think?
When we went 1-up, I had this feeling Leeds would score a couple of goals and would probably go 2-1 down. I just thought the way Leeds started to play. I think a draw is a fair result, but still their goal was offside. The first goal was offside, shouldn't have counted. There's 1 or 2 dodgy decisions that went against us, like it happens in a lot of games. You get referees who just take a dislike to a certain team for whatever reason. So I think the balance. I think when you score the goal, I was disappointed. I was gutted that we're gonna go and lose our first game of the season at home. I was hoping to have a really good sort of a good fortress at the stadium like this season. So to get that goal in the last kick of the game, it felt like a victory. I was absolutely over the moon, and it just made the weekend. So I'm over the moon with the draw. I think draw is probably a fair result.
Right, okay. Yeah, I've got to say it's. I mean, I'm going to get onto this thing where I know Reggie said about changing the formation and stuff like that mid-play, but when that goal went in, when we went 1-up, the sort of the fan in me started going, we could get another 2-3 goals here quickly, and it'd be a very comfortable game for us because we played well, and then we did that thing. What we do, we scored, and then we totally changed, and we invited Leeds onto us. Now, a lesser team, right, than Leeds United, maybe. I don't like it, but maybe. But when you got a team with Leeds quality, inviting them onto you, of course they're going to score. Terry, you was one in there.
Can you just give credit to Leeds and say Leeds just upped the game completely? Like when we did, when Watford scored against us, we upped our game and we were the better side. Sometimes it takes a kick up the arse for a team to get out of the shell. I think when we scored that goal, I think, yeah, we're in front. But then Leeds really looked impressive, I thought, for a canny bunch of the play. So I think I'd rather give Leeds credit than say our lads backed off a bit.
But it's not the first time though, Terry, is it? It's not. It's like this has happened recently. Recently in games. Go on, Terry.
Just look today. Brighton, Tottenham, all over Brighton. 2-up at half time. Brighton going at half time, get a kick off the backside, come out and completely change it around. They up their game, took Spurs 3-2. That's what football does. That's what teams do. They up the game. Good players up the game when they go behind. So I think that's a sign of a good team from Leeds, up the game, and the go behind and to come back to 2-1. But then again, it's a sign of a good team from Sunderland as well, to respond and keep pummeling there, really going for it. Even though we weren't creating a lot of chances in the last 15, 20 minutes, we had a lot of play, and we kept on going to the bitter end, and that's a sign of a good team to score in the dying seconds. Whether it's a mistake from the keeper, we were still there. We put that ball in the box. We still had to go.
Right, okay. Conrad, do you think we sat back then and is that what we're starting to do?
No, I think I agree with Terry that Leeds, I think they were sort of level pegging with each other for the first 10. We nicked a goal, and it was our first proper effort on goal, and we went 1-0 up, and they responded. I mean, I know their first goal was offside, but just think how easy it was. It was one cross into the box. It went past all the defenders on his head and just far corner. No one was. Patterson wouldn't have got anywhere near it had he dived or had he been, a foot further over. It was just simple for them to just think, oh, he's in, right, we're done. Whereas you think how much effort we almost had to put in to even force an error from MISS-LIER. I don't know. I think Leeds were good. I think they were really good, and we definitely upped our game from derby to Leeds because we had to. I still think they had the better of it. It's like I don't. It's not harsh to say that to us. But like Terry said, we kept going till the end, and I don't. Leeds probably thought they were home and dry in that last 30 seconds and thought, it's going to be a pump forward, win the header, and that's it. Or the keeper will get it, and we're done.
Right, okay. One-way ticket, Dave, on the chat says Leeds is still gelling. His Leeds pal said it. It was the best Leeds have played this season in longer spells. They are looking like a good team. It was difficult for me because I watched the first half, and I thought we started well, and then Leeds got back into it, and then sort of we were nowhere. But then sort of towards half time, it seemed like we got back into it again. And then the second half, which I was trying to watch at work, was just difficult to watch. So it looked to me like we had sort of more of the play than we did in the first half. But again, I don't know. Emma, do you think we sat back and invited Leeds on after we scored?
Yeah, I do. I think, like I said before, I think Leeds sat back to see what they were up against. We've scored, and then I think we went a bit too deep and sat back a bit too much. And like I said, up until about the 40th minute, and then things start to change again.
Right, okay. Bob Bass says, where are you coming from, Philly? As Terry said, Leeds up their game and Labrie picked the wrong format. I tend to agree with Emma. I do think we sat back, and I think we sat too far back. I think it's a difficult one to call. I get what you're saying, Terry, about Leeds being a good side, and then sort of up in their game.
It's a game of opinions, Philly. It's a game of opinions, lad.
Absolutely, it is. Right, we briefly mentioned these goals, these two goals, what Leeds scored. In hindsight and looking back at it on the telly, their first goal was offside. And the second goal, which they scored from the free kick, which they got, just wasn't a free kick. And so they've got two goals like that. So here's the question. Do we need VAR in the Championship? Conrad?
I don't know, because I like the fact that when a goal goes in the net, if the referee points to the middle, that's it. There's no sort of waiting about. Like today, I think before Tottenham even scored, there was a 2-minute wait for them to decide if one was offside or not, and it was about 4 passes back into the build-up, and even then it was marginal. So when you stop it and you have a quick look at it, you can go, maybe he's a little bit offside, and it would have been one that VAR probably would have called for, but I don't know. I see the benefits of the other side. Obviously, I'm going to be biased on this one and say it was offside, and that lino needs sacking because it was miles offside. But the free kick one, VAR wouldn't get involved in that. If the referee makes that decision, they'll just go along with it unless it's a red card where they think it's clear and obvious play. They wouldn't stop him from saying that.
Right. Okay. I know VAR. We've not experienced VAR because obviously it's coming since we've not been in the Premiership and that. And I watch it on the telly, and I think I'm not a fan of this. A goal goes in. I suppose if you want, you could say you score a goal and you celebrate, and then all of a sudden you're thinking, it's going to be chalked off, and then you're waiting, and then the goal's given, so you get 2 celebrations if you like.
There is good moments where they confirm it, and obviously you get a second spell of a celebration. It does have that moment, but it's not. They haven't even got it right yet in that division. So let's not take an unfinished product yet when it can also spoil games, or even the blokes reading it get it wrong as well, as we saw last year where Liverpool were, what was it? They were onside by about 1.5 meters, and they gave it offside because he drew the lines wrong.
But did you also see the Preston goal against Burnley? Any of you?
No. Did
you not see that? I mean, I was watching that because hoping that obviously that Burnley wouldn't win. And first half, they were only 40 minutes in or something or whatever. Cross comes in. Preston forward there had a straight in or something like that. And he was given offside, and there's about three Burnley players, there keeping him onside. But it was a good, and they ended up 0-0. That would have been a 3 points for Preston.
The way I say that, Phil, right? The way I say that game, right? If Preston score in the first 14 minutes, they're going to lose the game 2-3-1. I think I'm happy with the draw because I think Burnley would react after that situation, having the home fans behind them.
Well,
so
possibly.
I think
we'll
being a 0-0 draw is probably the best result of that.
Well, we'll never know, will we? Emma, do we need VAR in the Championship?
No. I'm not a fan of VAR. I think it spoils the game, if I'm honest with you. I'm one of these where if we have VAR, it will stop these sort of moments. Well, was it offside? Was it onside? Do you know what I mean? It won't give us something to talk about because we're just going to side with VAR. Do you know what I mean? As far as I'm concerned, VAR spoils the game and there's too much hanging around and it adds on the extra minutes, and then it means that for us that leave early, we've got to hang around longer because there's more minutes added on at the end of the game. But no, VAR's not for me. I'm sorry, it's not.
I like the Champions League semi-automatic offsides where it's done for them and they're just like, look, his kneecaps are and it's done in about 30 seconds. You go, all right, fair enough, that's fine. It's the ones where they go, oh, right, well, that bloke on the sideline might have got it wrong, so let's let a bloke on the computer have a look and he'll still get it wrong. It's all these subjective ones where the referees show their level. I think someone just put a comment on there going, it's when Premier League referees drop down to the Championship, they struggle without it. They're struggling with it in the Premier League as well, whether they're the one on the telly or the one on the pitch as well.
Right, just very quickly on the chat here. Sleepy Board Games referring to us saying about Sunderland sitting back after we scored. He's saying Labree's style of play in some games, it's been working, so get used to it. It's, like I say, it's been working. And fair enough. If it works, I don't like it, but I'm not bothered. I'll take a 1-0 boring game, us winning 1-0 every day of the week and keep us at the top of the league. The mags in my TikTok there. Yes, I did say top of the league. Right then, on this then, Terry, do we need VAR in the Championship?
I'm going to be controversial. I'm going to say yes and no. Right?
Terence, what are you doing?
I'm going to say no until the playoff final. Then yes in the playoff final because I think you need to get everything correct in the final.
Right. Okay. Then
I'll have it for the Wickham one, but it wasn't needed. Was it not played for the Wickham playoff final?
They did. I always find that a bit dodgy, though, when they're like, like in the FA Cup where they go, we don't use it at like Harrogate's ground against Man United, but the next round it's at Man United versus Exeter, and they will use it because Man United's ground. It's like, well, that's not fair. There's another game somewhere else not using it that might benefit from it, from a decision. It's like until you're all on the even playing field of, like, say, there's only Premier League teams left in, or like you say, they're all at Wembley.
Did you say Harrogate versus Manchester United?
It could be a fixture next season, I'm
going to say because they probably wouldn't need it in that game.
Yeah, probably not. Harrogate would smash them.
Right, okay. Look, just very quickly as well. God, time's going on. It's flying tonight. I just want to do this thing with Reggie, our manager, old Pally with the goalie at the end of the game now with Terry. You went mad last time when we said about, was it Paveda?
30-second Paveda.
Yeah, when he was at the end of the game, when we'd just been beaten off. Was it when we got beat off Watford? Yeah, and he's all chummy with one of their players, and we just lost, and you went absolutely mental. Right. How do you think the Leeds fans are going to feel about Reggie being so... I mean, they were laughing and joking, and the goalie was laughing and joking on as well. After the error he just made, you just want to get off that pitch and hide your head. So how did you feel about that, Terry, when you saw that?
Well, I'm not Leeds fans. I couldn't give a shit.
So it's all right, okay. So it's all right for others. It's
perfectly fine because we got a draw. We were happy at the end. We were jubilant. So if Reggie wants to go and be happy about it, happy days, Reggie.
But if people are, I'm just saying, if there are any Leeds fans who had the same views on it as you did with your own player. I mean, like I say, you were livid after the Watford game and that. But I mean, imagine how livid some of those Leeds fans are going to be seeing it after what the goalie had just done as well, and seeing that. Right,
Phil, not my problem.
It's not your problem, Conrad.
Can I just say a special mention to all the clips we've had of the Leeds fans, clips, or anyone who was near the away end, videoing it for that moment when the ball bounces into the penalty area and all the Leeds fans go, way, just for that split second before disaster strikes and it hits and it bounces in and they all go, ugh! And then the stadium goes mental. It's been my favourite thing, finding more and more clips of just all them going, oh, game's over. And I'll have to send them in. The brilliant.
You'll have to stick some in our group and we'll have a look at them.
Oh, it's just reacting too soon.
Well, look, what we'll do, I want a man of the match from you, or a person of the game, or a woman of the, I don't know, whatever it's called now.
Man of the match. It's man of the match.
Thanks, Emma.
It's man of the match.
Thank you very much. Yes, right. So a man of the match from you for Friday night. Conrad?
Jesus. He doesn't play for us either. It's really hard to pick one. Go on. Yeah, their keeper. Yeah. Alan Brown. Screamer.
Alan Brown.
He knew. No, I'm going to have to probably go with Dan Neil. I actually didn't think he put a foot wrong in the game. I thought he was very composed throughout the whole game. Didn't allow us to drop. Even when they scored, he was there sort of trying to sort of G up his defence as well, and sort of instructions all left, right and centre. So I thought Dan Neil actually had a good game. He was the person I saw the most, but it was a screamer from Alan Brown.
Different ones coming in on the chat at the moment. David says John Swinney, who's John Swinney's down in New Zealand, isn't he? All the way down there. So thanks for tuning in, John. He says Bellingham as well. Las Palmas, Macklin Cirkin ran his heart out. 09 says Stephen Winship down there.
Is that
Chris
just with the body flip that he did, the body slam from Luke 09 onto his own fans?
Yeah. The Championship podcast says Chris Mepham down there. Terry, man of the match?
Dennis Cirkin for me, best left back in the Championship. I kind of think when Riggs scored, I think his ball kind of went over the line, possibly. I don't know. But anyway,
yeah,
he thought it created the goal for Chris Riggs. I'm over the moon for Chris Riggs scoring a goal, like you say, but I think Dennis Cirkin's fantastic on the left-hand side of the season.
It's an extra $2 million on Chris Riggs' price tag every goal, so we'd rather give it to him.
Yeah, I've got to say, I mean, it did. I did notice that, Terry. I looked and I thought that could actually be over the line before I did that. Just very quickly, John Nesbitt on the chat says, put Alan Brown's boots in the fans museum next to the beach ball on display. That's a good. Did
you all see his post-match interview for Alan Brown? So they interview the guy, and he was just like, fair play to the goalie for throwing one in the net. You know, I'm glad I was able to come on and save the team with an absolute worldie. He's just so unserious throughout the whole thing.
Terry?
I think that Dennis Cirkin goal, I think the referee seen his watch it big, seeing over the line, he thought, we'll ignore that. And then Chris Riggs was that right?
It was already in when he looked back up. He went, oh, well, never mind.
Emma, man of the match?
Can I have 3?
No.
Trust you to want 3 men. Unbelievable.
For man of the match, Phil.
Brownie for you.
You see, I think quite a few of them had a good game.
Emma, we finish it half past, by the way, just to let you know.
I'm going to give it, I think, to Cirkin. I'm going to agree with Terry on this one. Cirkin, he had a great game at the back, I think. He defended quite well, and when he was going forward, he sort of like, it was like he had a rocket up his butt, if you like. He give with that. If you like,
right, okay. Right, go on, Conrad.
Sorry. I was meant to say before, actually, but I noticed that during the game that every time Mundell, Roberts, or even Hume and Cirkin, when they were attacking down the side, did you notice how Leeds like doubled and trebled up on our wingers every single time? And sort of That was, I think, why I was a bit like, well, they look shattered, because every time they got it, they were just pushing them back up and then back in the middle to Job to recycle it over to the other side. And it was the same thing again. We couldn't get the ball into Isidore, which is why we only had a few chances. I just forgot to mention that they did really well at shutting down our wing play.
Yeah,
Good
definitely.
team.
Noticed
Good
that.
team.
Yeah, they didn't even. Yeah, it wasn't even doubling up. It was 3 on them a lot of the time. Right, just very quickly, we're on 85 likes here, 173 people on the stream at the moment. If you just hit that thumbs up button, we only need another 15 to get to 100, which we like to do on a Sunday. If you're watching on a mobile device and you have the live chat open, just close the live chat. You'll see the thumbs up, hit that. And more importantly, like I said, we are on our way to 10,000 subscribers. If you're watching and you haven't subscribed, please hit that subscribe button. It's free to do so, and it really does help the channel. Right, we've got to have a quick word from our sponsors this season. So as soon as I find him, AI Philly, take it away. We just want to say a massive thank you to our channel sponsors, footballprizes.co.uk. This is a fantastic site, and of course a must for any genuine football fan. You can win some superb football memorabilia, cash prizes. There's absolutely everything on there. Check out the site, get yourself on. You can enter yourself into prize draws. Now all you do, you buy yourself a ticket. It can be 99p. In fact, some of them are even free to enter. So you get yourself on there, you buy your ticket, and then they have the draw. The draw doesn't have to sell out before they do the draw. So you've got a great chance of winning some superb prizes. There is a link in the description below if you want to check them out. It is footballprizes.co.uk. And once again, a massive thanks to them for sponsoring SAFC Fan TV. Thank you very much, AI Philly. There. So don't forget, there is a link in the description. Football prizes. Thanks to them lot. Right, just very quickly then, let's move on to Derby County, which was midweek. Nice 2-0 win there. It was the first time they did the light show. So we've not been on since then. And seeing as Terry is having a light show of his own in his bedroom there. What were your
hang
thoughts
on. I'll make it the same. Get the light on and not sorry.
Terry, what did you think of the light show on Tuesday?
I really enjoyed it. I thought it was class. I mean, it was definitely something different, and you can see how they've upgraded the stadium over the summer with certain aspects. And yeah, I thought it was very good. 10 out of 10.
Right, no changes or anything like that. You just thought it was all right. Was you having a dance to it?
No, I was just enjoying it. I was laughing at the Derby fans. Laughing at the Derby fans, what they were singing.
Right, okay. Yeah. Conrad, your thoughts on the light show?
I thought it was a nice party trick, a nice little party piece there. I enjoyed both Derby and the Leeds fans singing "What the effing hell is that?" 4 seconds into it starting each time. It was quite funny. For me, I said to Mike, a friend of mine, I went, "Have you ever seen War of the Worlds and the aliens that make that big whenever they sort of emerge up?" I was like, I'm just expecting one to like come over the stadium. I liked it. I wish they didn't do it at full time when at Derby when I was trying to walk up the stairs and they kept turning the bloody lights off and on again, because that was a bloody hazard. Actually, some guy did fall up the stairs during the Leeds one when he was trying to find his seat. So, yeah, health and safety. And I also like their message about people with light conditions and what have you. Just go, do you just mind staying outside until it's over? And it goes on till like 10 seconds before kickoff. Like, it's just mad.
I was saying that the amount of people who could end up having an epileptic fit, like with those lights going. But Emma, your thoughts on the light show? Did you like it? Was it all right?
Well, I agree with Conrad about the thing about them having to stay down, like out the way. If you're epileptic, I think you're screwed. To be fair, and I think it's unfair on them fans, like having to miss the players come out. But that's me personally, because obviously that's part of the game, is watching the players come out ready to go, and then Wiseman and stuff. But if they've got the light show going, but back to the light show, it looked absolutely utter bollocks on TV. I'm not going to lie, it did. I was like, what the hell is this? So I was like the fans, Do you know what I mean? The away fans were like, well, what's this? It's absolutely crap. And I mean, Friday night, they didn't seem to do it as much as what they did on Tuesday night.
They definitely toned it down.
Yeah, but
I think it's trial and error with it.
Yeah, but the thing is,
bill went up.
Thing is, it went on too long. The music was,
sorry.
Yeah, the music was just not right. And I mean, you watched Norwich's game. I don't know if they played the next night or whatever, and they did a light show of theirs, and they came on with and it's flashing it, and it looked mint, and that's what it was all about. It's all about getting the music right, and not too long. I mean, it was drawn out, and it's like, and you just think, done right. I love it. I do love anything like that, but it just needs condensing down, and somebody needs to be in charge of the music. If they want to get in touch with me, I'll tell them exactly what music you should play. And somebody on the chat here, D Hall, says, it's not. It was Tam. It's crying out for a Close Encounters light show. Emma?
Yeah, can I just ask why all of a sudden we decided to jump on the bandwagon with the light shows?
Money and shows in the summer.
Well, but because we also didn't have our old lights wouldn't do that. You know, these new lights would have come in, do that, and I like it. I mean, some people hate it and what have you, and I just think I think it's good. I thought it was on Tuesday night.
Tweaking.
I thought it was too drawn out, too long, too boring.
I want us to accidentally press the button when like one of their teams is on the attack in like the last minute and start like flicking the lights off and on again. Yeah, bam! No, you're not scoring. Done.
Right, okay. We will be wrapping it up just now. So quickly on that game. Before I ask you about the match and a man of the match for Derby, there's something been playing on Karen's, my wife's mind. Like she'll watch when she watches Sunderland on the telly, and she's murder for looking at the players' shorts. I don't know why. Don't ask, but. She's like that with the telly. Oh, and anyway, apparently she can't keep her eyes off Anthony Patterson's shorts because they are so tight. Right. I mean, are his shorts too tight? I mean, I've noticed now, I wasn't one for looking, but since Karen said they're proper tight, have a look next time you were either on the telly or at the match, have a look at his shorts. Honestly, man, it's funny he doesn't rip them. Anyway, Derby County, we won 2-0. Your overall thoughts on the game, and what about a man of the match from you? Emma?
Oh, God. I can't remember what happened on this, let alone Derby.
I know. I'm like that. I forgot what had happened with it. It's because of all what happened on Friday night.
We had a terrible opening 20 minutes where Derby looked like they were going to batter us. We got 1-0 up and we coasted out until half-time. Second half, we looked much better and we got a second and we sort of coasted to the full-time whistle. There's Derby.
That's about it. Was there a man of the match from you?
I think on extra time, I gave it to Isidore just because I actually thought he put himself about quite a bit and he got a goal as well. So, yeah, I think I gave it Isidore.
Right, okay. Just very quickly as well, people put in recommendations for somebody saying, it's for children, not grown adults down there. Championship podcast. Dave the Rave would be class in the centre circle doing all these bits and that. Terry, then, your thoughts on the game on Tuesday?
Exactly what Conrad said to a T. I thought Derby started quite well. I was quite impressed with them. They didn't have much up front, hence the reason why they couldn't score the goal. And I thought Job was my man of the match with that superb strike. He put his foot on the ball. After about 15 minutes before half-time, the midfield took control of the game, and he shot to the top, and I thought he was the best player.
Right, okay. I mean, for me, I don't think it was pretty. I thought it was a job well done. We did what we had to do. We got the win. We got a 2-0 win. And like I said, it wasn't pretty, but it was effective, and that's what happened.
Phil?
Yes.
Overall, 3 games, 1 win, 1 draw, 1 defeat. Are you happy with them results? Are you happy with the amount of points we got?
Yeah, I think I am, considering. Yeah, I think that's probably about right, really. Yeah, I am. Are you happy with that?
And I've been happier with the draw against Watford.
Yeah.
You can't have it all. Yeah.
Yeah, I think. Yeah, I mean, it's just everything else after Friday night has just become a blur. Really,
I didn't
really.
realise Sheffield United are still unbeaten as well.
Well, yeah, they're the only team unbeaten, aren't they?
Yeah.
And had they not had the 2 points deducted, they would have been top. But you know what?
Phil. I thought I was losing my mind. I was thinking, how have they won 6 and drawn 3, but only got bloody 19 points?
Well,
I thought, am I saying that wrong?
Yeah,
Didn't they draw like 2 or 3 of their first games, and then they've won all since then? So it looked like, because no one's mentioned them, and then all of a sudden they've just gone straight flying up now.
That's. I mean, yeah, they would have been, but they're not, and we're top of the league, and we're there going in the international break, and it's a great feeling. And I know I was watching Burnley, the early kickoff, and thinking, God, just don't get it, even if it's a draw. And they didn't win, so that was good. And then I was watching Sheffield United. They were 2-0 up, and I'm thinking, if they get any more goals, they could go. And it all just worked great for us, and we're sitting pretty at the top of the league. Just very quickly before we do go, next week, of course, is an international break. Now, I will tell you, Sunderland ladies are playing Newcastle United ladies at the Stadium of Light. Now, I reckon it's going to be busy. I think it's going to be busy down there. I'm doing a pre-match show at the Wheat Chief. Quick plug for that. It's on a Sunday. It's a 2:00 kickoff. Sunderland not playing. So I say get yourself to the Stadium of Light. Sunderland versus Newcastle. Yes, the lasses, there's cheap tickets. I think it's £6 a ticket or something like that. £3 for the kids. And I think you should all get yourself over there, get behind the lasses, and we can stick it up the mags, hopefully. So that's what I think you should do. There's no football on international break, so you can get your footy fix on the Sunday. And don't forget, pop into the Wheat Chief before you do, and come and.
I knew there was an alternative motive somewhere.
What?
I knew there was an alternative motive somewhere.
Well, listen, what else are you going to do on a Sunday? I said to Dave the Rave, I said, are you coming in? He said, I can't come in on Sunday because he goes to church. So fair play to him. So if you're not at church, then come to our place of worship instead. Right. Thanks very much for tonight. We've already hit 100 likes, so thanks to you.
Get in.
For doing that. Don't forget, hit that subscribe button. Free to subscribe, if you would, please. Conrad, would you just like to wrap it up and say goodbye to everyone?
Goodbye, everyone. Thanks for tuning in. We'll see you on Thursday for another extra time. We'll probably bring out some sort of special reason to do one before we start again next week.
Great. Emma, would you like to say bye to everybody?
Bye, everybody.
And Terry?
Goodbye, everybody. Enjoy your national break, like we always do.
Shite, isn't it? Absolutely shite. Right, okay, so don't forget, tune in through the week for extra time. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe, tell your pals about it, all those sort of things. And we'll see, I'll see you with most of these next Sunday. We'll see you then. Bye-bye.